Good morning, it's 10:30 and it's time for Behaviour on Arrow. That's the name of my show. I'll be playing some music today and talking about this and that. But to start things off, I've got a track I heard earlier this week and thought that's a good one for the radio. On Sunday, and it is by the Stone Roses, who are sort of quite a well-known band in the 1990s, and this is a track that it's quite upbeat. Have a listen, see what you think. It's called Love Spreads, and here it is.
She's my sister. Flashing the lightning, hurting again. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. I had a dream and it seemed alive, don't put it out, and she's alright, yeah, she's my sister.
Yeah, so that's Stone Roses with Love Spreads from the album The Second Coming, which came out in the mid 90s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were sort of quite a big act there for a while. Ian Brown, their vocalist, did some solo stuff. Yeah, they're worth checking out if you're not familiar with them. They've got a lot of good music. Ian Brown did some interesting stuff as a solo artist as well. Yeah, and I've got something else to play this morning that I found recently that I thought was quite interesting by a band from the United States called Slint. And this is a demo version of their track Morning Captain. And yeah, I think it's an interesting track, and it's quite long, but it sort of builds towards something that's quite cool. Yeah, have a listen, see what you think of it. I'm pretty sure they've got an album out now, Slint, so they're worth following up if you like the track. But yeah, have a listen anyway. Here it is.
Cried softly from outside the wooden door. Scattered remnants of the ship could be seen in the distance. Blood stained the ice along the shore. storm. The young man felt the creaking of the stairs beneath him that rose from the sea to the door. Behind the edge of the windowsill, there appeared the delicate hand of a child. His face was flushed and timid. He stared at the man with frightened eyes. Reached for something to hold on to. "Help me," he whispered as he rose slowly to his feet. The boy's face went pale. Recognized the sound. Silently, he pulled down the shade against the shadow, lost on the doorstep of the empty house. "I'm trying to find my way home. I'm sorry. I miss you." Yeah, so that's Slint with
Goodness, what is that called again? Good Morning Captain. Yeah, yeah, interesting bit of music. Quite sort of, I don't know, what would you call it? Grandiose almost. Quite yeah, sort of epic. I like the build and the yeah, good finale. Yeah, they've got a lot of music available on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, if you want to check out more of their stuff. And yeah, interesting band, I think. Drummer really is quite good, and I mean they're all sound pretty talented, and I've got quite a following from what I can gather on YouTube. There's a lot of fans who speak quite highly of them, so I definitely will check out more of their music. Yeah, so there's another track I'm going to play this morning. It's by a group called Ministry. I haven't played any Ministry in a few months, and it could be described as an assault on the senses, Ministry. So yeah, check this out. It's TV2 by Ministry. Yeah, so that's Ministry with TV2. I was lucky enough to see Ministry live in Melbourne a few years ago, and they were very good live. Very tight band, very talented musicians, been together for many years. Al Jurgensen, the lead singer, was very impressive as a live performer, considering he was, at the time, 57 years old. He sort of really took to the stage and delivered a blitzkrieg of a performance. I was very impressed with their efforts that day, considering they were sort of on the bill behind such luminaries as Soundgarden and Faith No More. But I mean, arguably, they're sort of at the same level as those two bands in terms of output and longevity and so on. And yeah, Al Jurgensen, very interesting character. And yeah, talented group. So yeah, we'll go back to something a little bit more laid back now for Sunday morning, which is a bit of a Kiwi Kiwi artist, Marlon Williams, all the way from the South Island there in Littleton, Christchurch. And this is from his album Make Way for Love, and this is the title track. Yeah, check it out.
Make way for
Yeah, Marlon Williams, Make Way for Love. What a crooner, eh? it's good to have listen to a bit of Marlon. As I've said before on the show, I saw him live out at Martinborough a couple of years ago. Excellent gig. He was playing with a couple of other artists that day, and even though it rained, it was a great evening out. Yeah, so I've got something else to play now, which I discovered earlier this week, and some people may be familiar with it. It's called, it's by a group called Brand X, who were sort of a jazz fusion group that got together in the mid-70s, and with, one extremely famous member, Phil Collins, and a few other members who were considerably talented musicians. But this is sort of a jam session of theirs from around the time they were recording their first album, which was called Unorthodox something or other. I mean, sorry about that. I'll have to look up exactly what it was called. Maybe Unorthodox Session or something, or The Unorthodox something. But yeah, have a listen to this. This is them here. Right, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's only actually 4 minutes and 44 seconds of a 24-minute video that's available on YouTube. So if you're enjoying that, you could listen to the rest. But I'm not going to play the entire thing because I think that would be sort of, I don't know. I mean, maybe I could, but no, I think there's time to listen to other things this morning. Yeah, so I did have another track to play, and I figured it. I mean, it's as good a morning as any to play a bit of symphonic black metal, perhaps. So I haven't played any in a while, and there's one particular band that I generally go back to because I quite like their efforts musically, and but then again. Actually, we'll go back. We'll go back in time to the early '80s and put on a bit of speed metal. We're going to go a lot earlier than the symphonic black metal and play a little bit of Metallica, "Ride the Lightning," with Dave Mustaine on guitars on this one. I'm pretty sure. He maybe. Rumour has it he's responsible for the solo that comes in at about 3 minutes and 42 seconds, which is one of my favourite guitar solos ever, actually. So check this one out. It's "Ride the Lightning" by Metallica. oldie and a goodie from Metallica there. I really do like that solo. Of course, one of the best parts of that guitar solo was actually the sort of driving bass played by Cliff Burton, the original bass player of Metallica, who unfortunately died in a bus crash when they were touring Europe. And of course, Lars Ulrich on drums. So sort of a lot of people think they lost. Probably one of the key parts of the band when Burton died, and you could argue quite strongly that was the case. Because they did obviously do the Black Album without Burton, and Master of Puppets as well. I'm pretty sure, possibly it was, or maybe I'd have to have a look at that to be sure. But they certainly weren't the same band without Burton, and real shame that he died the way he did. It was there were accusations that it was negligence by the bus driver, but he said he just hit some black ice on the road and lost control of the bus, and it turned over. There's quite a crazy little story about that moment that actually Burton was in the top bed of the bus, which was up in the roof area, that was actually crushed in the accident, and that's why he died. And him and Kirk Hammett, I think it was, had sort of had both wanted that bunk to sleep in because they knew they'd get a good sleep, and they'd drawn cards for it. And Burton won. He got the higher card, and he, and unfortunately, that was the reason he died, because he was up in that top bunk thing. So interesting little twist of fate there from that unfortunate happening. I've got more music to play this morning. Here's one by an English group that I quite like, that I think are worth people checking out if they get the chance. They're called Metronomy, and this is a track by them called The Look.
Now you're giving me
Yeah, so that's Metronomy with The Look. It's a goodie. I really like that track. It's quite lovely, in my opinion. Yeah, so I've got another track to play that is a favourite of mine, and hopefully a favourite of yours as well. It's called The Silent Elk of Yesterday, which is just quite an amusing title, I think. And it's by a group called Stratosphere, who are from California and were signed on Mike Patton's record label, which I forget the name of. But yeah, this is The Silent Elk of Yesterday by Stratosphere. Yeah, so that's the Stratosphere with the Silent Elk of Yesterday. Interesting aside about that band is they're all very proficient jazz musicians, and pretty sure a couple of them are also classically trained. So, yeah, they do on that particular album that track comes from. They do play quite a few jazzy numbers, which is yeah, always a bit of fun. And that obviously is a bit more of a, I don't know what you'd call that. Is that death metal? I mean, it's more sort of, I mean, it does have that sort of, that type of singing that's not really singing to it. And some really good double kick drumming near the end there as well. And excellent guitar work as well. But worth checking out if you like that one, a Stratosphere. They've got, I think, 3 albums out. Some of it extremely heavy, and some of it not so. Some of it a bit more light jazz. Very eclectic musicians, a Stratosphere. So yeah, I did have another track to play after that one that I'd listened to recently and thought of to play on the radio this morning, and that was on the playlist that I can't find now. Where's it gone? This may be it here. Here it is, and it's by David Bowie, and it's Moon Age Daydream. Have a listen.
I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm the space invader. I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. Just walking like a big monkey bird. And I'm busting up my brains for the world. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. With your ray guns
Yeah, David Bowie with Moon Age Daydream. Good little number. Speaking of Moon Age Daydreams, I was just reading an article about that mentioned the fact that Goldman Sachs and Neil deGrasse Tyson, prominent astrophysicist, believe that the world's first trillionaire will be the person who figures out how to extract minerals from asteroids. NASA has identified 12,000 asteroids within a 45 million kilometres of Earth that contain iron ore, nickel, precious metals and other minerals. And just a single 3,000-foot asteroid may contain platinum worth over $5 trillion. Wow, how about that, eh? So that's what's happening next, apparently. People are going to start mining asteroids. And it may seem far-fetched, but perhaps not as far-fetched as it seems. Yeah, so meanwhile, back on Earth, we're not mining asteroids for precious metals. We're listening to music, and here's one by the Pixies, who I believe may be in New Zealand later this year, if I recall reading somewhere the other day. And this is Brick is Red. Yeah, the Pixies there, with Brick is Red from the album Solar Rosa. I'm pretty sure that was from Solar Rosa. Yeah, and well, isn't that interesting about mining asteroids? I'm quite intrigued by that. Be interesting. I'd love to see who manages to do it, and whether it remains billionaires who are going into space, or whether sovereign nations start, like the US, start doing it again. The US is sort of, I don't know, wouldn't they canned their space program after maybe cutting the budget too much and suffering a couple of accidents, didn't they? I believe China and perhaps Russia can't really be going to space anymore, can they, with their current behaviour? They're spending a bit too much money on other things. But yeah, I suppose maybe it is the age of billionaires going to space to try and what are they trying to do? Increase their wealth further. maybe they haven't got quite enough money just yet. Yeah, so here's a track that I heard the other day that's worth a listen for everyone out there wondering about what to listen to on their Sunday morning. This is a one by Paul Simon, and it's one that I come back to often. I've always enjoyed this one, and I first heard it when I was a wee boy listening to a video actually that my mum played called Graceland live concert somewhere, and this track was on it, and I've always been quite fond of it. The Boy in the Bubble by Paul Simon.
Slow day, and the sun was beating on the soldiers by the side of the road. There was a bright light, a shattering of shop windows. The bomb in the baby carriage was wired to the radio. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo, the way we look to us all. The way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in a corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. And don't cry, baby, don't cry, don't cry. There was a dry wind, and it swept across the desert and curled into the circle of blue. And the dead sand falling on the children, the mothers and the fathers and the automatic earth. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo, the way we look to us all, oh yeah. The way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in a corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. And don't cry, baby, don't cry, don't cry. It's a turnaround jump shot, it's everybody jump start. It's every generation throws a hero up the pop charts. Medicine is magical and magical is art. Think of the boy in the bubble and the baby with the babbling heart. And I believe these are days, lasers in the jungle, lasers in the jungle somewhere. Staccato signals of constant information, a loose affiliation of millionaires and billionaires and baby. These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo, the way we look to us all, oh yeah. The way we look to a distant constellation that's dying in the corner of the sky. These are the days of miracle and wonder. And don't cry, baby, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, so that was Paul Simon from his Graceland album. Good album, that one, if you haven't heard it before. I'd urge having a listen. And that's, a track off it Boy in the Bubble. The title track's also a favourite of mine. Yeah, so just as I was talking about mining asteroids, it turns out that presently plans are underway, or attempts to make mining companies are hoping that they're going to be allowed to start mining 4,000 metres below the ocean's surface for precious metals, which is concerning quite a few people, oceanographers and marine biologists in particular, who say that this is just going to really not be a good thing for the ocean. So we're going to be mining asteroids and soon to be mining 4,000 metres beneath the ocean. Isn't that the premise of that horror movie by old James Cameron? Resident of Wairarapa, actually. James Cameron did a movie about... Did he do a movie? Was it him that did The Abyss? Were they mining? Wow. Okay. I wonder what will happen with that. Whether they'll just it's all kicking off on planet Earth. It's all kicking off. More music this morning. Here's an interesting one by a band called actually, maybe I better not play that because I think it has obscene language in it, which is, can be a little bit distressing for some people. So we'll leave it out. We'll leave that one out. And instead, we'll go with... This is mining for music. Not quite as dangerous as mining on asteroids for precious metals, or mining 4,000 meters below the ocean surface. I wonder if there's. I mean, apparently there's 90%. What is it? 90% of the deep sea species that are encountered by researchers are new to science, which is quite phenomenal, really. There's some really interesting fish down there, as it turns out. I hope there's like some big, giant, weird, prehistoric ones that like eat a mining vessel or something. That would be, I don't know. I mean, it would be a robot mining vessel, so it'd just be, you just be a bit of a bill attached to it rather than anyone dying, I think, because, I mean, they can't really send people 4,000 metres down, can they? I mean, surely not. It'd be robots doing it, you'd think. But anyway, away from that, I'm about to play another track here. I'm not going to play the one with the swearing in it, which has really thrown my train of thought a little bit, so I'm going to have to play instead this track. Oh, this is a goodie by Shannon and the Clams. It's called Ozma. Have a listen. They're sort of reminiscent of, what would you say, like late 50s, maybe early 60s sort of American music. I don't know what class genre this would be described as, but have a listen.
Now, no, it's a little
Yeah, Shannon and the Clams with Ozma. A bad little number, that one. Yeah, so I've just been reading about the Guardian analysis. The Guardian, the UK newspaper, based out of Manchester. It's very, sort of old, reputable newspaper. They did an analysis of the 100 top corporations in the US and found that they had a median increase of 49% in profits over the last 2 years, which is while people are sort of struggling to pay the bills, these corporations are making more money than ever. I think that might be the case in New Zealand as well, with these there's sort of excuses made about price rises needing to come from war, from the war and scarcity and other such things, and inflation, and but instead it looks possibly like these corporations are just making a lot more money. A little bit distressing, really. I think that recent investigation into the competitiveness of the two major supermarket chains didn't really lead to anything, did it? And we've still sort of got that duopoly and control of supermarkets. And will that get any better? I'm not sure. Can it get any better? It's almost like here's a good track when you start thinking about corporate skullduggery and so on. It's by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and it's called Red Right Hand.
Lie in the border fires and the humming wires. Yeah, man, you know you're never coming back. Past the square, past the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand. Tell you that you've been a good boy. He'll rekindle all the dreams that took you a lifetime to destroy. He'll reach deep into the hole, heal your shrinking soul, but there won't be a single thing that you can do. He's a god, he's a man, he's a ghost, he's a guru. They're whispering his name through this disappearing land, but hidden in his coat is a red right hand. You don't owe no money, he'll get you some. You don't have no car, he'll get you one. You don't have no self-respect, you feel like an insect. Well, don't you worry, buddy, cause here he comes through the ghettos and the barrio and the barry and the slum. His shadow is cast wherever he stands, stacks of green paper in his red right hand. he ain't what he seems. You'll see him in your head on the TV screen. Hey buddy, I'm warning you to turn it off. He's a ghost, he's a god, he's a man, he's a guru. You're one microscopic cog in his catastrophic plan, designed and directed by his red right hand.
Well, that's about it for today, really. We're coming up to 12 o'clock, 12 midday Sunday. The, goodness gracious, it is the 1st of May today. How about that? Yeah, it's been enjoyable as always, playing a bit of music. And I may have an interview next week, actually. I'm sort of organising something. I've got to email someone. I've already have, but I'll get onto that again. And I hope everyone has a great week and achieves or works towards achieving the goals that they're striving toward. And yeah, I've been reading quite a good book recently by the now deceased neurologist Oliver Sacks called Everything in Its Place. That was given to me by a friend. Really quite enjoyable read. Some really interesting reflections and observations of his patients and of his work. Very interesting man, Oliver Sacks. Died not that long ago now, I think, but wrote a number of books and led a very interesting life. Was born in the UK but spent most of his professional life in the United States, and was really became sort of quite well known due to a film that was made of part of his life that starred Robin Williams called Awakenings. Definitely worth having a look at some of his books if you get a chance. He's just a really interesting writer and someone who's good at choosing words, which is a key element of good writing, isn't it? But that's it for today, and thanks again for listening, and enjoy your week. I'll be back next Sunday at 10:30.